Welcome guys. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the perfect male timeline. I looked at the lives of these very fulfilled, very happy people, and I tried to reverse engineer their own timeline. And then by the end of this video, you're going to know the tips and bits that will make your life much more purposeful. So please stay tuned. Now in this video, I'm going to be breaking it down into about 5 years components. Now the reason I chose 5 years is because I assume most people are average. And then it's going to take average of 5 years to achieve most of these things. Now, to some people, they can achieve them at a shorter time frame. Now, also, I'll be setting some cautions, some things that I will leave out in the main video. So if you stick to the very end, you will find out how you can insert those little juices into your entire life. So stay tuned. So first things first, the people who I studied are people who have their life to some extent in order. So it's not about just being rich and then being just rich. It's not about being just jacked and then broke. It's not about being a lazy ass person, but it's about being someone who shows up, being someone who people respect in society, people who see your value, people who basically are the role models of society. With this perfect male timeline that I'm discussing about, I'm going to be making two assumptions. That one, in this modern day where women are told to be as promiscuous as possible, you still want to find a wife material and build a family. Two is that you're building a family where you are the leader. What that means is you're going to have to carry the burden of performance. Not this modern way of, oh, we are both equals. In this, it doesn't work. Your 20s basically are for laying the foundation. It's for laying the foundation of the family and the vision you want to build. That's what your 20s is. That's what your 20s are for. You're going to be making sacrifices. You're going to be taking a huge amount of risks. It's going to be more of you're acting from your vision backward, not just acting for the sake of acting's sake. You're most likely going to be intentional with almost every step of your journey and leaving almost no room for randomness. So breaking it down into 5-year section. Your first section is 20 to 24 is your first stage. Mind you, every single stage is a foundation for the next stage. So your 21 to your 24, I call this like digging the trenches phase, where you've identified that something is wrong somewhere and you want to build a vision for yourself. This is one of the most critical phases. This is a phase where people tell you to, just have as much fun as possible, play as much as possible. But I'm super sorry, to the average guy, that is a distraction. That is the phase where you have enough energy to take risks. You are not really bothered about a lot of things. So this is what you're going to face. This is what you're going to see in this period is when you start your self-improvement journey actively, you're going to see friends who like it the way you are, who want you to be the way you are, who rather say things that are shaming just for you to stay the same. Now, slight caution is, when you start your self-improvement journey, don't see yourself as being better than others. Though there's a high chance that others will see themselves as being worse than you. Instead, see yourself as somebody who is discovering his own path for himself. Like I said, life is not a race. You can pass in your 30s, you can pass on in your 40s, in your 50s. So see it as a period of your life where you are beginning to lay the foundation for your vision. This is the same period where you are, like I said, actively self-improving, you're building a character. And this is a phase where you are kind of like exploring, knowing what you want to do, knowing precisely how you're going to earn this money, because money is a very huge component in whatever vision you have for your family, whatever respect societies give to you. Money plays a very, very huge role. Also, this is a phase where I believe that people are to aggressively seek apprenticeship or mentorship. If you don't believe me, look at what Warren Buffett did. Warren Buffett credits his success massively to his mentorship with that intelligent investor. So I can't remember his name now. I'll probably check it out later and put it in the video. So like I said, this age 21 to 24 lays the foundation for the next stage, which is age 25 to age 30. I'll call this the climbing the trenches stage. Mind you, I called it, the previous stage was digging the trenches. Now you're kind of like in the trenches. Now you're coming up. You may wonder, why should you dig to come up? Is you have to know what's out there. It's almost like that beginner mentality. Is that developing that hunger mentality, and now you're beginning to build things up for yourself. This is the period where you are intentionally building on what you have learned. You must have discovered the path. Mind you, you could have done this in your 23s, in your 24s, but the bottom line is by 25, you should have started building something, putting something out there. It could be climbing the corporate ladder, which there's nothing bad in it. It could be starting your own business. It could be starting your own social media influencer life. Also, this is a period where you are also intentionally climbing a hierarchy. As Jordan Peterson tells youth, is look for a hierarchy to dominate. Now, I have a video coming up about this and how guys can take advantage of a new way of dominating hierarchies. Basically, it's going to make you a god. Bringing it up in another video. Stay tuned for that. Age 25 to age 30 is an age where I believe that you should begin to understand topics like sales, marketing, persuasion, most importantly, female psychology, evolution psychology, because we live in an era where most of the content that gets our attention is red pill content. Red pill content, yes, educates you on funny things about women behavior, but the honest truth is that most of them never ever tell you how to use it to your advantage. But when you see this content, try to understand where they're coming from. So read topics on psychology, female psychology. How do they think? Because the female logic is 1 + 1 is 11, not 2. So now, your age 31 to 35, I'll call this like the fast track stage, or the build up, the momentum phase, where you've been building something for a while and things are beginning to pick up. There's a reason movies pick guys in their early 30s for certain roles, because this is someone like a phase where they know that this guy who has built his life in his 20s is beginning to show off results. So now, if you can't take lessons from movies who spend millions of dollars to research on their actors, then I believe that you want to live your life to chance. So the guys in their 30s doing very, very well are used for these lead movies now, because they build themselves up. So now 30 is supposed to be an age where things are like moving super, super fast. So what should you do in your 30s? Your 30s, you are first of all trying to put your first family in order. That is the family you were born into. There's a high chance in most cases you are the one to rescue your family from whatever stage they are. They mostly take care of them financially, and maybe your life shows a pathway for mentorship and followership, leadership. So in this same stage, you are actively applying what you've learned from female psychology and looking at intentionally dating or seeing what these women are like. Mind you, women, to be very honest, are classified into different types of women. You have the wifey materials. Well, you should know what that means. You have the mistresses. They play a role in society. You have the 304s. They also play a role. And I'll tell you that this 30s is also an age where you kind of like know how these three come together and how they play a certain role in society. Mind you, no role should be put down, or hosts play a role, wives play a role, mistresses play a role. So look for the ones. Just explore that dating scene and know what's happening. Mind you, it's not a major focus, but that period I think you should explore. Now, this is the same age where you're going to build a family frame. So a family frame in the sense that you're traveling, you're meeting people, talking to people, probably in conferences. What kind of lifestyle do you want for your family? What kind of so this is a stage where you're basically drawing women to you. It's not intentional, it's you're doing your thing. Women see you're doing your thing. Your life has to be interesting though. Has to be interesting, because the modern day woman won't just see you rich and just believe that they want to enter you. Obviously, except for gold diggers, but you want women who are high quality, who are interesting, women who are intentional. So if you want to do that, you're most likely going to make your own life interesting. So this is the age 30 where things are moving fast. You want your life to be also interesting, to attract reasonable by doing things that are very interesting. Mind you, I like what Rich Cooper says is, as a man, you can be anything in this world, but you should not be boring. So this is at age 30 where you cannot and you should not be boring. Is you're maxing out your career, maxing out your business or your brand or whatever it is you're building, or you'll be building your 20s. Your 30s should be basically a period of high momentum where you have built leverage and things are moving super fast for you. She's okay, fine. Now mind you, this is also a period where you get to see that some women got to enter your life and slow you down. It's no, your life is moving. You're the one, remember, as option 2, you're the one to lead the family. So she has to come in to fit her life with the moving vehicle. Not the other way around where they have to enter your life and stop the moving vehicle. And that will lay the foundation for the next phase of your life. Mind you, it's evolution you are moving through. You're not the first to get to this stage, and you won't be the last to get to this stage. So evolve to the next stage. So the next stage is more like age 35 and above. Now this is like super critical because you have made a lot of moves. You have seen what the women have to offer. Is use your sense, use your judgment in picking the right partner for yourself. Don't blame me for any wrong choice you made. But with that being said, is you have seen what the dating scene has to offer. You bring a woman into your life. At this period, you are intentionally building a family. I believe that if you have put your financial affairs in order, now you can begin to take off some part of your time and actively build a family. So you can be able to accommodate family, take care of other people. This is why I always recommend this. Please do this please handle all these foundational things before your 30s or 35, because we mostly see guys who get into serious relationships in their late 20s and that's it for them. They just, which happens in most cases, because I said, most people are average. So don't point out somebody's story who got into something serious in his late 20s, and then from there everything was good for them. Average guy is who I'm referring to, and what works best for the average man. Now 35 is just also still sticking to your vision, because like I said, most guys who start dating in their 30s sometimes still get distracted. So you're still sticking to your vision. You're bringing a woman into your vision, bringing kids into your vision. Now, to be very, very honest, at this stage, from what my father told me was, there were women who were begging to become number 2 in his life. But story for another day. I wouldn't tell you what he told me. I'm from Africa where polygamy is a thing. So, and I feel like it's where the world is heading towards, thanks to the ideas behind feminism and the modern day woman. At this age 35 also is where you are beginning to become a mentor, or also begin to accept apprentices into your practice. So remember, when you're early 20s, you've sought out mentors. So your 30s, you're kind of helping people who are a few steps behind you in their own journey, a few age brackets behind in their own journey, inspiring people. Because every single step of your journey is an evolution to the next stage. So I'm going to end it here, because at basically this point, like I said, you're most likely building your family already at age 35. A family is coming in. By this time, you should have been a leader in the family, the masculine man, and you have a feminine woman. So now, I will not end this video without stating some serious cautions. Is that, first, yes, you might be a man that has missed certain points in this. Does not mean that you are a failure. That is one thing about being a man, is that you can start at almost any point, because biologically we don't have a ticking clock. So we can start at any point and then pick ourselves and move along. The idea is to see why certain things should be done at a certain age. Does not mean that if you don't do them, you are a failure. As a man, pick a point, know where you are going to. Bottom line is know where you are going to, know where you are at, and start making progress to that vision. And the funny thing is that the world's most sexiest men are all averagely in their 50s. Not their 40s, not their 30s, not their 20s. There is a reason for that. Because by 50s, if you can hold up that frame to your 50s, there's a high chance that you will just be the one that everything flocks to us. The money, the women, the opportunities, the cloud, everything just smoothly. It's like breeze. Everything flows to you calmly. Another question is, I never talked about friends, because I'm not saying that you shouldn't have friends, but you should have friends. But they have this spiritual saying where it's better for you to walk alone than to walk with fools or idiots. And the reason behind that topic is that we are the average of the five people we hang around with. If you are stressed about this thing, feel free to walk alone. And as you walk alone, as you're doing all these things, meeting people, doing business, growing your brand or something, you're going to meet people who are like-minded. That's the key thing. Who are working on their own. So it's not like these guys aren't here to drag you. Sometimes they are there to even motivate you. It's an intentional friendship. It's not like just meeting people for meeting them sake. Oh, dating in your 20s, in my very, very strong opinion, is a waste of time. Now, there are people who have done it and successful for them, but mind you, this video is for the average person who wants to start out and all of that. And I'll touch on this topic in a later video. And lastly, I did not talk about having fun in any of these periods. It's because you're making sacrifices for the next stage of your life. Now, that doesn't mean that you should have zero fun. No, but that is, fun is not a thing where you are actively looking for, but see it as a thing that you kind of like do for pleasure, for leisure, once a while, periodically. Not, oh, today is Friday, drink o'clock, let's go and have a couple of bottles. No, mind you, you are actually taking care, you're actually tampering on your health there. I don't care what you want to say about it. So the idea of fun should be something that happens spontaneously. Sometimes it could be planned. It's just go out there, do something funny, do something interesting, but it should not be your end all be all. So guys, thank you very much. Please let me share this video with somebody who you think might benefit from it.